What's going on? What's going on, good people?
What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing this evening? I'm Lamar.
Yes, sir.
It's my brother, Casey Fowler, and this is the Fowl Language Podcast, episode 49 in this bad boy.
09, man. Almost to 50, man. Shit.
Yes, sir.
Man. So, hey, man, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say my usual. We are brothers, husbands, fathers, uncles, cousins, all that shit in this crazy world.
All that. And like every episode, man, y'all go ahead and get the kiddies to bed, get your accessories right. You know what I'm saying? Because you might just hear some foul language. Let's
get that right. Go. Roll the intro.
Perfect.
All right, everybody. As usual, before we kick off, we're going to talk about these accessories that we got. So, Kevin, what are you drinking? What are you smoking?
Well, sir, I am partaking of the exotic taste of some regular Crown, man. It's a,
I knew it was fucking Crown the tin cup.
But it actually fits because I'm drinking Crown and I'm actually smoking a under Crown.
Oh,
so, it fits. You know what I mean? I'm fucking royalty, man. But damn,
I almost smoked that one tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty good so far. A little peppery, but it's burning really good. And I used my punch this time. I punched it. So
yeah, you're gonna have smoke out the ass on that one.
Yeah, man. I love a lot of smoke, man. So what about you? What you got going on?
All right. So tonight we're gonna do a little bit of rum. Got my Diplomatico going on tonight, and then I got one from my cigar pack tonight. Okay. They did a brand takeover with Caldwell, and Caldwell is one of my favorite brands. So this is their antique line, the Lost and Found. So I think if I remember correctly, it's tobacco from each of those years or cigars from each of those years or some shit. There's something about the year. So it's like I had a 2014, a 15, a 16, a 17, and they've been pretty good. So we'll see. It's got a little
infinity cigar,
goofy little ash right now, but it's smoking pretty good, burning pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. That's what's up. So yeah, guys, it's that time, man. Where we talk about some of the positive stuff in the week that was best in life, or that wibble, as we call it.
That's right.
That wibble. So hey, man, let's go ahead and jump into it, bro.
Yeah,
what's best in life?
Got notes tonight, so I don't forget shit. So
shit, he took notes.
Not a whole bunch of stuff, just some stuff. So vacation started today. I'm off for the holidays, so that is always what's best in life. Had a lot of meetings this week, so had a few cigars to go with it. I should be taking the motorcycle out tomorrow for a liquor/beer run. So that should be fun, like old times. Got cool because at work before I left, my boss told me that our team got recognized for some of the work that they do. They got a certificate from Central Region and shit, and that's pretty cool. So he told me about it, but I didn't know it was as important as it was. So like good shit. Always good when my guys get recognized for the work I make them do. So always good shit.
Good work stems from good leadership, big dog.
Well, yeah, my team's so good, man. I just kind of just point them in the right direction and they do good shit. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Let's see. So I hang out with my little guy today. I'm hanging out with Simone tomorrow. Different shit that Kim's got to do. So she got to do some shit with with Simone tonight. So me and the little dude is hanging, and then some shit with Lamar tomorrow, and me and Simone will hang. I think we can go get breakfast. So that should be fun. We finally got our new dryer, so we can dry shit efficiently now. And what's so damn funny is we ain't dried a stitch of clothes since we got the damn thing, but we were trying to get it as early as fuck. It's crazy because we spent some
voice activated, or can you do it with your phone? Anything of that nature, man?
No. So when I was looking at it initially, there was one that had an app attached to it, but it went up $200 since Black Friday. I don't need $200 extra to dry some damn clothes. You get warm, you beat when you're done. I'm happy.
Indeed.
So I don't give a fuck. So we got one. It works. It seems like the newer model of the one we got. So can't complain about that. And then I've been cracking up all week, man. I don't know if you've seen it, but Nancy Reagan was trending on Twitter and shit.
Oh, I heard about it.
Oh man, that shit was so funny.
She was the original superhead.
So nasty. With all the crazy shit in the world, to laugh at some shit as hard as I did, between the shit with that and your son, man, had me laughing all damn week.
Yeah, crazy, man.
And so that was good shit, man. So that was funny. Some people might take offense to that. I don't give a shit. I laughed my ass off. Oh, and the memes were unforgiving. It was fantastic. So if you guys don't know, Google Nancy Reagan trending and leave that shit in the comments. Hilarious. Oh, and then finally, and I'll wrap up. MFinResearch is finally live today. Damn it. Oh man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
shit did not go as planned at all, but it's out there. So first video, excited about that. I will definitely put a link in the description. So check that shit out. Stop by, leave a comment, subscribe. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a little different from what we do here, but it's still good shit nonetheless. So excited about that. And with that, brother, what is best in life?
Oh man, well, since you mentioned MFinResearch, man, I checked it out just about as soon as it dropped. Congratulations, by the way. I'll go ahead and check that out. That's some good shit right there. All the way from the background to the stuff you're talking about, man. He's EDC king around this bitch. What else is going on? Keontae, man, we wanted to chop him in the throat because he waited like a week to tell us that he got student of the month this month. I forgot. How you forget that you got
a whole damn month, bro?
So he got student of the month. They actually did something for them today. They got Domino's, some cookies, and like some Gatorade or something like that. They did for them after lunch. So he didn't get a snack, nonetheless. My birthday passed. I didn't go to the range. Didn't go to the little cigar spot. I just, I woke up that morning. I was like, man, I just want to chill, man. I don't want to do nothing. Just
be like that sometimes.
Everybody called, showed some love. Special shout out to the Fowler family because Grandma and Auntie Valerie and Uncle Reggie and Auntie Kelly, they was on. I'm drinking for you. I'm drinking for you, grandson. I'm drinking for you, nephew. I'm drinking for you. Like shit, I might as well get me one too.
Right. That's their drinking time. So
yeah. So that shit was really dope, man. Enjoyed it. But I am gonna try to get out to the range this weekend, if my ankle allows, because I'm having some ankle issues now on top of my knee issues. So I'm walking around like an old ass man, kind of. But I'm still breathing. So
fitting right after your birthday. Fitting.
Indeed. And lastly, this actually just happened a couple of hours ago. Our neighbor came over and they did like a Jeep parade.
Oh, I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, so the Jeep crew came through with all the Christmas lights and all the other shit, man. That shit was really, really cool. It was short, which I appreciate the short parade, me personally.
Did you record any of it?
The wife did. I'll make sure I send you the recording.
Okay. We'll put it in here.
Yeah, so it was really dope. Shout out to my neighbors, man, because he personally came across the street and said, hey, they doing this, because we had no clue that was happening. So as soon as we heard, we packed up the kids, jumped out there, waited for about 30 minutes, but they finally came through.
That's cool.
And it was good stuff, man. It was really good.
It was real cool.
Got back to work this week. I mean, it's kind of off and on the past couple of days because computer issues, but worked a full day today, and it was actually very productive, man. I got my forklift working. I got some floor jacks now. Just some stuff work-wise that makes me happy personally that I've been waiting. Don't judge me, damn it. I like to do my job.
It's all good.
And other than that, just waiting on Christmas. My leave got approved, so my vacation is gonna start in a couple days. We're gonna head on down to the Augusta. That's 706. We're gonna be home in a little bit. And hey man, that's what's best in life, dog.
Cool.
I seen something on Facebook the other day, and it was a woman doing, what you consider typically a man's job in the house. It was basically saying if you're an insecure man, you'll have a problem with your wife doing a man stuff in the house. And to be completely honest and 100, that's what we do on the Fowl Language Podcast. A couple of things for me, I've been telling the wife, hey, sit down. Can I do some man shit, please? Can I fix this? Can I put this back together? But after a while, I realized, hey, if she's better at something than I am, go right the fuck ahead. So, I grew a little bit. So what do you think about gender roles as a whole in the home?
I think it's a function of how you were brought up. And, Kim and I have been together and, dating and married for over 20 years now. So, you know, we've had to learn and grow. We're both functions, like I said, of shit that we saw growing up. So, I mean, we've had discussions of like, oh, yeah, you know, like, for example, my dad or her dad would always pump gas. You know, like his Kim's mom never knew how much gas was in the car, never touched the pump. Granted, in Jersey, all you have to do is drive up and hand them your card and they pump the shit for you anyway. It's not fancy, it's something else, but that's another story for another day. It's a little different. And then the thing that we were like is, you know, here, you know, if you look at a map of the Metroplex, I work over here, Kim works down here. So a lot of times that's just not feasible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm in the car with her, she will not be pumping her own gas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to see that shit, but I mean, it's just certain shit that you just have to realize. And it also is what works for the couple. You know what I mean? Because like, let's say, you know, your knee is jacked up and you got brace on and it takes you 20 minutes to get out the car or some shit. Then, you know, rolls aside, it just is practical for her to pump the gas or whatever. You may hate that shit on the inside, but it just makes more sense. And, you know, it's one of those things where take the, I don't want to say ego, but take the irrational part out of it and just focus on the facts of it. And it just makes sense sometimes. I mean, we really pride ourselves on whoever's the best for the task, just get that shit done. I mean, if that's you, great. I'm not, you know, gonna worry about it. If it's me, she's not gonna worry about it. If it's shit that we can both do equally well, it just gets done. I mean, like, I'm not gonna sit with a sink full of dirty dishes like, oh, that's the woman's job to wash a dish. No, I'm gonna scrub the motherfuckers and put them in the dryer, you know, dry them and put them bitches in the dishwasher that go in there and call it shit a day. It just depends on what it is. So, I mean, I feel like I've seen, you know, some people like, oh, the woman's role is this, the man's role is that. It should be a little more fluid than that. And then on the other end of the spectrum, I think it was a celebrity. I want to say it was hmm, um plays Gamora. What's her name?
Not like that. I know you're talking about. I can't remember. Zoe something.
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah.
So when she had a kid, they talked about like how they were gonna practice gender fluidity in the household. And they were describing it and making it seem like some novel idea, but it was just like whoever's going to get the job doesn't get the job done. It wasn't like this is a man's role. And I was like, you don't need to make it this big thing, or you know, oh, we're smashing conventional gender roles in our household, yada yada yada. You're just fucking making the household work. I mean, that's what it really boils down to. Together we have this house, you know, both the physical house and the metaphorical house. We're gonna make sure that shit runs on all cylinders to the best of our ability, and whoever's leading at a time is just who's leading. I don't have to lead everything. Kim don't have to lead everything. It's just who's best suited for the task and focus on it that way, man. What do you think?
Like I said, how was it first? Like, let me do my man shit. And a lot of that do the man shit, I guess, like you said, how you grew up compared to how Kim grew up. And it's the same thing for me and Janeke. You know, she grew up, her dad taught her a lot of stuff. I remember that one time we was leaving the curb market, we couldn't get the cooler strapped down to the truck, and she said, I got it. She jumped in there like, yak, yak, yak. And all three of us like, well, goddamn.
But threw some knots on there straight from Guam on your ass.
Yeah, hell yeah. But you know, like I said, I've grown. You know, some things. Okay, you're more methodical or detailed when you're doing shit. I'm just like, let's just get it done. Fucks up. And some things are better if it fucks up. Some things are better when you know you actually take the time and do the shit right. And that's what she does. But there are some things that my pride won't allow me to let her do. Like you mentioned, the gas. Even with my leg in a brace, if we're in the car together, ain't no gas pumping. Or if it's 9 o'clock at night or something, we need something from the store, I'm not gonna let you go. I'm gonna go. Same thing with like changing the tire and things like that. But a lot of that for me stems off of watching mama do everything. and not really having no man around to do it for her. She had to do it all. So with my family, I'm the man here. So there's certain things as a man I'm gonna do that she doesn't have to do. But I'm not going to stop her from doing anything that she wants to do too. And, you know, it goes both ways. Like you said, I'm not just going to wait for my wife to wash the dishes, or if I see her working on an order, shout out to Isla Native Creations. If I see her working on an order or something, I'm not going to sit there and wait for her to cook dinner, or if she's doing a $20 holla thing for Pure Romance. I'm not gonna expect her to do that and jump and do the food, take care of the boys. You know, I cover down, and some stuff she covers down. Like, you know, she know I gotta go to work, and it's on a Sunday. Work is almost an hour. She makes sure there's gas in the car, or she's already out and we low on cigarettes. She go get cigarettes, so she'll surprise me with a bottle. I mean, we just, you know, you like you were saying, you got to work as a team, man. Your household shouldn't be this is me, this is you, because that causes division and separation. Right. It should work like a fine-tuned oiled fucking machine. And for the most part, you know, it works as a fine-tuned oiled machine. The problem is we both stubborn and got some disagreeable tempers sometimes, but I mean, that's what keeps it. But you know, that's what keeps it interesting. But I don't feel like there's no certain role that she's tied down to that she has to do. And that's why, and I mentioned it on, I can't remember which episode it was. I think it was either 46 or 47, something like that, where the boys got to see me doing, you know, stuff that people typically say a woman should be doing, you know, cooking, the cleaning, I did laundry. She hates when I do laundry. The only reason I don't wash the clothes and stuff is not no man, woman shit.
Oh, I know why she hates why you do laundry. I fucking already know.
She hates the way I fucking do laundry. She hates the way I fold everything. I did the towels, bro. And
his laundry skills have been trash for 25 years. I promise you. They have been trash, and he will never get them. Sorry. I tried.
I folded up the towels. And all the thing I can say is the towels was all shapes and sizes.
Man, if you don't watch Marie Kondo and learn how to fold some shit.
But you know, it was done because I didn't want her to feel like she had to come back home and the house is a mess because I just sat there, well, your mama do it when she get home. No, that you know, that's not the right thing to do. And then cooking, and in the day and age, a woman love a man that can throw down, not just on the grill either, but if you can cook in the house too, I mean, that's a definite plus. But as far as the overall of it, I don't think there should be a specific gender role except for one.
Go for it.
If there's a bump in the night, the woman should not be getting out of bed while the man laying in the bed to see what the fuck going on. That one right there, I won't shake on. I don't agree with a man just laying in the bed. Babe, go see what that noise is. Motherfucker, you's a bitch. You get your ass up and see what the fuck going on. Because that at the end of the day, you the defender of that motherfucking house. Sure. You protector still. That's the only thing I don't waver on as far as
I wouldn't disagree with that. Now, one caveat I will say, if there's a bump in the night, and let's say, I don't see this happening, but I like to play devil's advocate a little bit and consider all scenarios. Let's say my wife is a world-class competition shooter, and she can shoot me under the table. We can go together because you're a better shot. Yeah. So,
other than that, cover my six.
Other than that, right? Get you a defensive position and let's go.
Exactly. You make sure the kids is protected. I got this. If I go down, you the next line of defense. So I would rather if my wife was a sharpshooter, because Janae could shoot her ass out too, man. But you know, if she was the better shooter, I would want her to be the second line of defense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but I'm with you on the bump in the night thing. Yeah, everybody. So let us know what you think about gender roles. Do you think they're an antiquated system? Do you think it's more needed in today's day and age, or what do you think? You know, discussion is welcome as always.
Oh yeah. Keep it positive, but if you don't want to keep it positive, I won't either.
This individual and this school have been in the news a lot over the past weeks and months, and I thought it'd be cool to talk about since it is very close to your backyard. So I'm talking about Deion Sanders and Jackson State. So, it's a lot of shit been going on, and I didn't want to focus on any one thing. Being that you're so close, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on like everything he's doing with the school, like what he's bringing in, the shit that you've heard in the news. What do you think?
We actually was talking about that at work today, man. I think it's actually really fucking awesome. You know, he's turning the school around as far as the football program goes. They actually did pretty good this year, from what I understand. A couple of my soldiers, and we're in Mississippi, so a lot of people follow Jackson State since ain't no Mississippi football team for real. The thing I think is really dope is it's gonna eventually bring more attention to the HBCUs in terms of sports, football, basketball. It's gonna bring more attention, which is gonna bring more funding because HBCUs for the longest have been getting fucked when it comes to funding and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure you heard about Howard, but they boycotted or whatever because of how their dorms were. And it was actually funny because they had the Secretary of Education on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne asked him about that shit. He was like, I didn't hear anything about that, but I did go down to Howard, and they were really pumping get the vaccine very hard. I'm like, man, this right up, man.
Yeah, but it's wild. That shit right there is wild. That's almost another topic, but that shit is wild.
Yeah, and I think what he's doing is dope. Yeah. And Charlamagne said it too, and I actually agree. We got to protect this dude because those, them D1 schools and those boosters who's really invested and all that money that's eventually going to lead these really big schools like Ohio State, UNC, Florida, LSU schools like that. They're going to start losing all this money because all the best players are going to start going to these HBCUs. Shout out to Deion for snatching that number one from Florida State. I thought that shit was really fucking cool, man. But it's something that's needed for the HBCU community. I know you went to a HBCU yourself, and I support everything my people do in every form of fashion, even though Strayer is not an HBCU. But what he's doing is amazing. We need to protect this dude. We need to watch him because eventually somebody's going to say he sexually harassed him in fucking 1979 or some stupid shit like that. It's going to be something that's going to try to, demean and demoralize what he's trying to do for these kids, the HBCU and the city of Jackson, man. So, what about you?
Remember, we said it first. Watch out when they try to get him on some fucked up shit. So be mindful of that.
Right here.
So with that, there's a couple places I want to take it, and I don't even know where to start. So first of all, from the HBCU side of it, like you said, I went to an HBCU, the illustrious Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University.
Atlas, right?
Damn right. And I think LeBron is doing uniforms for them or some shit.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's pretty dope. I appreciate that. The only thing I don't like is like, bro, you could have came to fam. For real. You could have came to fam. I would appreciate that shit. But no, it's all good. Good. Shout out to Jackson. I had some homeboys that went to Jackson, so it's all good. I appreciate, like you said, it's bringing notoriety to the school. It's bringing notoriety to the to HBCUs in general. It's bringing funding. It's bringing money. And like you said, I mean, Grambling a few years back, their football team, I think, decided to boycott because their gym was shit. A lot of stuff like that just happens, and that funding, it helps, and it helps to bring better talent to the school. Slowly but surely people start considering HBCUs as a viable alternative and not just a fad or anything like that. And I think that's pretty dope, man. I'm excited to see what the brother's gonna do. I was reading an article today about it, and I'm just excited. So I'll jump in to that piece of it. So like, the people are pissed that he snatched up. Let me. I've saved the article right here. Let me find that young brother's name. So
earning jersey and everything.
Yeah, Travis Hunter. Well, yeah, they Travis Hunter flipped and decided not to go to Florida State. And motherfuckers is mad. They're trying to say like, he bribed him and all that shit. No, not necessarily. Stop hating. But then on the other side of that, let's fucking say he did. Okay.
They've been doing it for how long?
They have been doing that shit in, big schools, Division I schools forever. I mean, how many times have you heard about like Reggie Bush had to give his Heisman back? Players at Florida State with shit that happened. I mean, you just hear players after players after players after players after players. Whether I believe that they should get paid to some degree of playing football or not, which I think they should. At the time, you can't try to throw shade at Deion for something that y'all motherfuckers do all the time. And we're not even gonna talk about the salaries that these coaches get at these D1 schools, because part of their skill set is recruiting top tier talent. So don't throw shade because you got your butt hurt and the good old boys club didn't work out this time. I mean, tough shit. You know what I mean? And what I hope is like more students will see that. And like I was listening to somebody bring their counterpoints as to why that was a dumb decision for that young man to make, because it's what his arguments were: the facilities aren't as good, you won't play the level, the caliber of competition and all that shit. But I was like, one, you'll get to train under probably one of the best that ever did it. You'll get plenty of playing time. You will definitely be a big fish in a small pond. So you'll get highlights. People are gonna be watching to see what you do. It's not gonna be a problem. And they talk. I mean, there was a list I saw it on Facebook the other day of all the players who have come from HBCUs, and they represent all of them. Well, I say a good majority of them that have gone on to go into the Football Hall of Fame. So it has nothing to do about where you go. It has everything to do with what you do for yourself, what you make, the advantage that you take of that time.
Oh yeah.
And that's why they're upset that the system is being bucked. And I appreciate it. I love that shit.
Oh yeah. Every time.
I love that shit. And that's all they're it's more of a how dare you do this. And that's really all it's about. I mean, it's no different than any other school. Like if he would have flipped and said, I want to go to SMU or some shit. I mean, didn't SMU get the death penalty for paying players or some shit? If I remember correctly. So
I think it was SMU, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like the hypocrisy, man. The hypocrisy is just ridiculous, man. It's crazy. And then the other point that I want to bring up is not only is he teaching these young men the game, he's also putting these young men on game. So some people didn't like it. He brought Brittany Renner to the school. And for those that don't know who she is, if I can find it, I'll put a picture of her right there for those that want to see. She's the woman who's been around the news. I think she had a baby. What's his name? PJ Washington?
It was somebody in the NFL. She had a baby.
No, he's a basketball player.
Oh, it's a basketball player.
Yeah, so he was a young basketball player, and she got pregnant by him and had the baby and bounced on him. So everybody's like, oh, she used him. She basically got a check, and then they found like a book of hers that she wrote. Videos that she posted of saying, basically these athletes are stupid. If you want to secure the bag, as they say, you can just get one of these dumb athletes and get a baby by him, and you got your meal ticket for the next 18 plus years. So then she went, put him on game, and kind of was telling him, you're young, you're talented. Some of you will make it to the NFL. Some of you will find other degrees of success. Be ready for the shit that's out there that's looking for you, because especially if you one of them small town boys and you used to seeing shit and you start seeing all these new
they get preyed on.
That you ain't seen before, that you ain't used to, that may or may not be surgically enhanced and do something to you, give you some of that Nancy Reagan, and you ain't gonna know what to do with yourself. You know what I mean?
That got 3,000.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I had to.
Oh man. So, I appreciate him for that. So not only is he teaching them football, but he's putting them on the game to be young men. You know what I'm saying? And just the numbers aside, some of them men may have not seen a positive role model, and I damn sure know that they weren't putting them on game like that. Because I know, shout out to my best friend's mom. She put us on game probably like 10th, 11th grade, and we weren't athletes or nothing. She was just like, y'all brothers are young, smart, appear to be successful. These girls gonna see it and they gonna try to trap you. Shout out to Mama D for putting us on game. Stuck real good for both of us. So, and not everybody gets that lesson. I'm sure the young man who got the baby thought that he was, living life high and found out otherwise. But I appreciate it. I'm happy that he's pissing people off. And I love, Deion's attitude about shit. Like when he got it from the interview and was like, call me coach. Oh, you're not gonna call me coach? I'm out. You know what I'm saying? He's making sure that you understand that you're gonna respect him, not because of you don't respect him because he's a coach of a university football team. So I'm loving the shit. Like, even though, like I said, he didn't go to FAM, I'm still following it. I'm still loving it. And I'm still enjoying it, man. It's dope to see. And I'm looking forward to what happens with that school and HBCUs in general, because more students are going to start to do that shit.
Yeah, hell yeah. And it's like you said, and I was going to mention it when you, but you already touched on it. They were back in. They're trying to get back to all these Hall of Famers that went to HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna eventually get back to that. I hope, because you know what I'm saying. Them same players that made it to the Hall of Fame that went to HBCUs, they were fucking beast when they was fucking playing.
Mm-hmm.
They was hungry when they was goddamn playing. And the fact that Deion actually cares about his players, it's not just it goes beyond the fucking field. And that's what I could respect, because a lot of these players, we care about these boys and blah 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 blah. But I think it was Saban that brought his quarterback back to him. I think he brought him back too soon, and he ended up getting injured again and almost didn't make it to the NFL or whatever, because he brought him back too soon. That shows they don't give a fuck about the kids. They just care about the fucking game. Now, when that shit happened, it pissed me off. Jackson's homecoming, and they was telling about Jackson's homecoming. I'm talking like even the old heads around here went to Jackson's homecoming out there where I work at.
Oh, that's HBCU homecomings, man. That's how that shit is.
53,000 strong or something like that. And there wasn't no fighting, no bullshit. Everybody was out there having a good time, enjoying the game. I don't remember if Jackson State won or not, but
I think they might have. I can't remember.
But they had a solid ass team this year. They're only going to progress on and off the field. I'm really, happy to say that this Melanin brother is a Melanin brother, and that he's putting other Melanin brothers in a position to succeed, not just to make it to the big show, aka the NFL, but to make it in life and fucking general. And that's what these kids need. That's around that age range. 18 to like 20, 21, 22. A lot of these kids are not getting that game like that no more. And they're they fucking off. I mean, look at Jameis Winston. Motherfucker stole crab legs. Motherfucker, what? But that's besides the point. But he's putting these kids on game, and that's gonna go a long way, whether they on the field or off the field. That's real. And I know Deion Sanders may or may not see this shit, but keep doing what you're doing, man. I love that shit.
One more thing I'll add. It was kind of along those lines of making sure y'all protect him. FAMU, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. They went to the playoffs this year, and the schools that they were playing, word on the street is that they were getting a lot of racial slurs and shit thrown at them in the stands and all that shit. So look out for that. That shit is real. Be careful. Protect Deion and them players, man. Be careful. And shout out to that. And those that are going to the homecoming and following it. If you graduated to the school, you didn't graduate from the school, you going to games, man, donate, because that's what them schools really need, man. That's what separates, the HBCUs, honestly, from like the Howard. I mean, not the Howards, but the big schools, the Harvards, the Alabamas, the UTs. Those wealthy donors come back and drop bans on the school to do shit. And I mean, like, they did some shit for fam, but it was like for arts, and it was like an arts theater or some shit, and that's cool, and I get it, and a lot of celebrities chimed in on that, but let's do some shit that benefits the school, you know what I mean? That benefits a subset, and I get it, you in the arts, so it's cool, I get it, that's cool, that's a start. But looking at like Howard, there's enough famous people all the way up to the vice president who went to that school. There should be some calls made, some checks written, some telethons, some emails sent. Them kids shouldn't have to go through that, man, at all.
Which says a lot. I'm not going to touch that because of my profession, but that actually says a fucking lot. So you guys leave your thoughts about Deion in the comments.
Yeah,
also,
please do.
If you ain't graduated yet, if you have graduated, Jackson State, y'all stand up, baby. I'll go ahead and put some in the comments.
If you went to an HBCU, throw them in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Jackson State folks, I'm out here in Mississippi. Fowl Language, pull up, man. Just, put it in the comments. Let us know what's going on.
All right, man. So for the next topic, before we get into it, we're going to talk a little anime tonight. A couple of things I wanted to say first before I mention the topic. Go check out Arcane on Netflix.
Good.
That shit is amazing. I don't know if you'll like it, but that shit is amazing. Like,
I give it a try.
It's got Game of Thrones comparisons, not in the level of intellectual complexity that was in Game of Thrones in the beginning. It's just the fact that it doesn't take its audience as idiots. Like, it's fucking great. Like, it starts a little slow, but you understand why it starts slow. Like, it builds the world, it builds the characters, you understand them. The fights are great. The music is amazing. You got fucking Jasmine Sullivan on the song. Pusha T is on the track. Shit's good. The last episode went off. Kim was like, no.
Oh man.
So check this shit out, man. It takes a little while to roll up, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's definitely a check out. Because I'm saving Attack on Titan when I go to the field next month. I'm gonna binge the hell out of that.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna switch to that soon.
The second half of season 4 comes out in January, so
so good.
Can't wait on that's gonna be right on time. So that's good shit. Yeah. So with that being said, I thought I'd talk about, because I watched a couple things recently and it made me think about it. I was talking about fan service in anime. And for those that don't know what fan service is, I was gonna look up the definition, but I didn't feel like it. It's basically scenes, dialogue, things that happen that are winks and nods and shout outs to make the fans happy. So there's kind of two spectrums of that. And I give you the examples and then we'll go on. So on one side is like, we watched the animated Mortal Kombat movie last night. Fan service on that side is like when Shao Kahn is like fatality or finish him, or you see like a special move or some shit. And you're like, oh shit, he did the thing. He did the thing from the game. That's one side of fan service. But then the other side in anime that's always there and present is the borderline nudity or the abnormal proportions and shit like that, the questionable camera angles and shit like that. So with that, what do you think about fan service? I guess I'll say in anime, since we're talking anime, but just in period.
To an extent, I like it. I am one of those guys like, ooh, I hope they do this, or oh, I hope they do that. And when they do it, I'm like, oh shit, they fucking did it. Like, I fucking love it. That side of it, love it, like it, cool. The other side of it, these are fucking perverts, especially fucking anime. Like, the fans are like, y'all need to go to fucking a grocery store or laundromat, go get you a chick or something. Cause I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous to a really, really strong ass point. And that leads me into a particular anime that disturbed the fuck out of me. And I couldn't fucking watch it anymore. It's called Dragonar Academy or some shit like that.
Oh, we seen that shit. It's stupid.
And I couldn't get past it because they got she's a dragon, but they got her, it's like a naked little 11 or 12-year-old or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just disturbing. And I'm like, damn, fans really wanted that type of shit. Like, sometimes it could be excessive. Sometimes it's like, ooh, that shit happened. Like, what if Naruto's parents lived? Which, they did that. And I think it was a movie they did it where roles were reversed and Sakura had no parents and Naruto had his parents and stuff like that. Stuff like that is cool because, it could have went a completely alternate universe. Just like fans kind of want to see in the Naruto world. They want to see that the whole Boruto shit was bullshit and they were actually stuck in the genjutsu or whatever. And Naruto rescued Sasuke and was like, hey, man, we've been in the Tsukuyomi shit for this long. None of that other shit really fucking happened. And it would be a cool little spin-off, but I don't think they should
just let him keep married to Hinata and buy Anko a Peloton or something, and then we could.
You feel some type of way
about that. I do.
But as far as fan service animes, man, yeah, some of it's dope, some of it's excessive. I don't care for the whole the abnormal fucking boobs and stuff like that. Like, what's another example? Ragnarok with Aphrodite. That shit.
Oh yeah. That shit was excessive.
That was too much. That was too much. And another one, Once Upon a Time when I was a slime, like he's under the chick's titties the whole time. Like they are really fans of boobs. Apparently, they're big fans of tits. And certain fans are like, oh my God, you guys see the. I mean, because you see it on TikToks and other social medias, they be like really overly obsessed about the partial nudity they get. Like y'all need to get your ass at the house and go play or something like that, man. But what you think, man? Because I know you about to really get up in there on the fan shit, man. So what's up, bro? What you got?
So like you said, on the side where it's like, oh shit, I wanted to see that. Okay, they did the thing. Like we'll stick with Naruto. When Madara and the first Hokage got the fight, or are brought back, and you see him, it's like, oh shit, they were as cold as everybody made it seem. That's cool. That's the kind of shit that you want to see. I want to see Naruto and Sasuke fight one more time, or what happens when Ichigo finally gets Bankai, or when Frieza and Goku team up in Dragon Ball Super, or when Vegeta finally gets the W for a change. That kind of fan service is cool. I appreciate that. I hate though when the story is basically fan service point to fan service point, but no real substance. It's like, okay, you take like a popular, like from what I understand, that's what Cowboy Bebop, the live action, tried to do, is take like bits and pieces and like kind of placate to the fans, like, hey, we did the scene, remember, see it, you see it, it's good, like, right? TikTok. Yeah, pretty much, but you don't have any narrative substance to it. I mean, it's kind of all style over substance. So that's kind of the thing that, like, you know, bothers me on that side of it. As far as like the partial nudity or the jiggle physics, as they call it,
jiggle physics.
Jiggle physics. It's weird because, I mean, I appreciate the woman form. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna be like, oh man, did you see such and such, and yada yada yada. I mean, like, if you find an anime character that you find that's drawn attractively, like you're Luigi or whatever, fine. But I'm not like, oh shit, did you see when she transformed from a cat? Oh man, if I put it on 0.25% speed, I could almost. Nah, that's too much fucking work.
That's crazy because motherfuckers out there
they are, man. They are, and it's fucking crazy. And like the body pillows and shit. And I don't know if you've ever seen those at a con. Shit's crazy.
The only one I went to, no.
Yeah, so like they'll have a pillow that's like a life-size body pillow, and they'll have like the character laying on the pillow. Like,
oh, I have
seen those shits. If I can find the picture, I'll put one for those that want to know what it is. Don't buy anybody in the Fowl Language Podcast to get those because they will be sent right back. And then the thing that bothers me the most about it is I don't really give a shit if it's like it's an adult woman, like a Yoruichi or a Tsunade or a Rangiku, or, you know, anybody who's like super curvy and they're apparently adults. A lot of times in anime and shit, they're fucking high schoolers, man. That shit is crazy. And I mean, I know, you know, the age of consent is different in Japan, but I don't give a shit. Like, don't be fucking going crazy about, or the Hime. I don't really want to hear that shit. That shit is weird. That shit is creepy.
Yeah.
And then, but even worse than that, and you almost touched on it a little bit with Dragonar or Dragonauts, whatever it is. I've seen some of that shit. That shit is just dumb. If you started watching it, delete it from your queue. It's stupid.
Yeah.
But what I hate is the shit that they'll do is they'll say, oh, well, the character's a vampire or a demon or immortal, and she's really 500 years old. And an anime that comes to mind is called Dance of the Vampire Bun. She was a vampire, and it's like, oh, she's 120 years old, and she's naked all the time, but she's built like a 10-year-old. That shit is just fucking creepy. Like, like, no, don't justify the shit by saying she's 120 years old. Y'all know exactly what the fuck y'all are doing. Y'all can make her an adult shaped 120-year-old easily. And that's my whole thing. Like, I don't care if you do it. Just say they, you know, college at least. I mean, and there was an anime, I can't think of the name of it. It was 1 or 2 seasons ago, and the chick was like really short, but like really curvy. And so like a lot of the more stuck up sites, the mom sites, whatever, they were all up in arms about it because they were like, oh, you know, she's a minor. And I was like, no, she's clearly 18. She's just short. And I'm fine with that if that's what y'all want to do. You know, and I was like, y'all fuss about this one, but there's so much fucking more you can fuss about for real. If you know,
it's so worse.
It's way worse. I mean, you can pick any top tier anime. I mean, fucking remember Dragon Ball back in the day, you know, Goku pulling up Bulma's dress. I mean,
clearly kids.
All that shit. I mean, and on the other side, Goku walking around in his birthday suit. I mean, just all that kind of shit. Like, I don't need them significantly young. If you're gonna do it and it makes sense to the story, I'm fine. Like, if it's a more adult themed thing, and you know, there's a scene that requires that, like a Berserk. Yeah, Berserk has a lot of that kind of stuff in it, but some of it's a lot excessive, but it's germane to the world. You know what I mean? It makes sense to show you what kind of fucked up world that really is. Fucked up shit happens to.
It was really people. Like that in that time.
Yeah, fucked up shit happens to good people. So I mean, I appreciate that when it's done that way. And then there was another anime called Ren, Daughters of Misamine, and she was an adult, and it's like a 6-episode thing. It was like torture fan service. So like she's immortal. And so there was like every episode, they're torturing the hell out of her. She's nude, whatever. And it's like, it's a bit excessive. It makes sense for what a story y'all trying to tell. at least she's an adult. You know what I mean? At least she's, in anime, you're fucking over the hill when you're 22. So, that's the thing with that. I mean, or just like fucking My Hero, man. People go hate crazy about them fucking characters, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But they're like
Black Clover too.
Yeah. I mean, now if you're gonna do Black Clover, don't do Asta. I mean, at least if you like gonna do that shit, Ami or the witch, or somebody who's clearly of age. If you're talking about fucking Asta or his homeboy, I can't remember his right name right now. Yeah, fucking or something like that. They're clearly like preteen and teen. Come on, man. Like for real. Let's no.
Hey, it goes back into they cater to the fans, and there's a lot of perverts out there.
But see, and it's women too, though, man.
They can be perverts too.
Yeah, it's everybody.
And they know what the fans want, I guess, and that's what they get.
Yeah, it's something.
A lot of it's weird. A lot of it's fucking awesome. It's anime. That's why motherfuckers say anime is cartoons. I ain't no fucking cartoon.
Well, and that's the thing, like, man, when people bash anime, they go to the fan servicey shit. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't, like, for somebody who's a fan of anime, it works to a disadvantage of somebody who's anti-anime. And they're like, oh, that's the shit with the tentacles, ain't it? No. I mean, some of the best stories ever I've seen being told are in anime, man. I mean, fucking Full Metal, Berserk, fucking Death Note, Monster. I mean, there's some good shit out there that tells a good ass story that can really get you invested without fan service, or it's sprinkled in just a little bit. So yeah, let us know what y'all think. Let us know if there's an anime that you were just like, yeah, I can't watch this shit. I can't do this no more. I'm trying to think. There was one or two we were just like, nah, fuck that, we done. Can't do it. This is just too fucking much. But then there was one that was done. We watched it, and it was actually, you thought it was I don't know how we ended up watching it. It was called Be Gotta HK, and it was about, I think it was in like high school or something. And the girl like was trying to claim that she was like this super experienced chick, but she really wasn't. And it was like a relationship thing, and it was cute. But it made it seem like it was gonna be really fan service, but it wasn't. It was a good story. And I'm cool with that. I like the subversion of expectations. So I appreciate that sometimes.
Always good.
Yeah.
And but I will.
We ended up on that.
I don't know. But it happens. But I will say, for you guys newly to anime, don't go to Berserk yet if you ain't ready.
Yeah.
That's one you got to be mentally sound to actually. That's some graphic shit. Like I think
that's one of the most graphic shit.
Yeah, that's one of the most graphic ones I've ever seen. Both the manga and watching the movies and the animated series that they got going. It's don't start with Berserk.
But again, though, I mean, once you can get through it, it's like I say, my favorite work of fiction. Period.
Yeah. If you get past the really gory, fucking, just unsolicited shit, it's actually really fucking good.
Yeah, because see, I fucked up when I showed it to Kim. I started her with the Eclipse.
Oh, damn. Why would you do that?
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was so wrong for that. I know that now.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
That was fucked up. I know.
Like, really fucked. Like, the Eclipse fucked me up for a while.
Yeah, the Eclipse fucked me up too. But see, I think I was watching it. Like, I think it was before she had moved here, and I was watching it, and it just so happened to be like, that's the episodes I was on when she was here. So I was like, man, fuck this. I got this shit rented for 3 more days from I forgot, Niku, I think the anime place was called back in the day.
Shout out to movie rentals back in the day.
Yeah,
we missed you.
Yeah,
we missed you.
And I was like, well, fuck it, we just gonna sit down and watch it. You watch anime with me. And then she wouldn't fucking touch Berserk for a minute. But then after I think you watched the movies or something, and she was like, oh, it's a good story.
Yeah, you started you fucked her up with that.
I did. I'll admit it. I can admit when I do some stupid shit sometimes. So again, like I said, let us know what anime you wouldn't touch with fan service, and then let us know if there's any that fan service aside, once you get past that, it's a good story. And don't say it's a good story because it's they take the camera and shoot it from between their legs and the stupid shit that anime do. Don't give me that shit, because if you do, I'm gonna be looking at you weird in the comments. Just know it.
And also some fights that didn't occur in some of your favorite animes that you would want to see. Put those in the comments too, because I know there's some people that want to see certain people fight that I haven't even thought of. I can't say Lamar hasn't thought of, but
come on, man.
But
needs his own show. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. That's other than, the status quo, that's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, definitely. He is my favorite out of the whole anime.
Yeah, Neji died, so.
Yeah, fuck you, man. This shit hurt. This shit hurt bad. This shit cut me deep, man. And I was watching a video a couple weeks ago because you mentioned it before, like the asshole that you are.
Yeah.
And there was a whole thing breaking down why Neji's death was fucking pointless and didn't have to happen.
Yeah, it was. I seen some of that.
Yeah, that's true.
But it happened.
Yeah, it did. Fucking Neji. Yeah. I guess she had to make Hinata the best Byakugan user.
Yeah, I guess so. Guess so. But she's not going to be the best. Naruto's daughter is going to be fucking vicious.
All right, everybody. It is time for the last cigar check-in. KC, how are your accessories treating you tonight?
Well, Crown, gone. It's Friday night, so I'm going to pour up another one when we're done here. The Undercrown was 10 or something like that, 10th year, something. Yeah. Man, it was a really good cigar. I really enjoyed that cigar. It was good smoke. It burned. It didn't burn too fast. It didn't burn too slow. Like that's up there. It's not a Placencia level cigar, but it was definitely, it's up there in my top 5 cigars so far, and I only got 2. That one being number 2. So wow. Yeah, so that's up there, man. I really enjoyed it, man. So
I want a box of those.
Yeah. So let's keep it going. Undercrown, good shit. Black Lion. How about you, man?
All right. So the rum is good. There's no more left in the bottle, so I might get in trouble about that later. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I know where to get more, so it's all good. So the cigar, it was an interesting cigar. So it started off just okay. And then it like around like going from the first third to the second third, like it was like boom, flavor all over the place. And then like what happened? And then it went out, and then the flavor kind of died down a little bit. And now it's just kind of like regular cigar now. So at that first transition, fucking phenomenal. Now it's just it's okay.
Oh, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, so if I can like, get this cigar again in the first half, I'll take that all day. That be box worthy too. But I wouldn't buy, but I don't even think you can buy a box of these, to be honest with you. So
shout out to the limited editions.
Shout out again to Caldwell Cigars and my cigar pack. I'd still recommend trying it. Definitely some of the other ones from the line, the antique line. I've had a few of them, and this is, I'd say, my least favorite out of the bunch, but it's still not a bad cigar. Still a pretty good cigar.
That's good. You still got a good smoke in.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a good drink, good smoke, and good conversation, man. Fowl Language Podcast, baby.
No more fan service. Got that right. Do what you want. It's fine. It's part of it.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
That's what you want to do.
So again, with that, everybody. Oh shit. Almost forgot. I have a quote tonight. I have a damn quote.
Let's go.
So stand by, everybody. And it's actually a long quote. This is a quote from John Steinbeck. For those that did some school back in the day, you probably read some of his books back in the day, like A Mice and Man and some of the other ones and shit like that. I think you read A Mice and Man and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So, all right, here we go. The things we admire most in men: kindness and generosity, openness, honesty, understanding, and feeling are the concomitants of failure in our system. Words that I don't ever use. So if I fuck it up, sorry. And those traits we detest: sharpness, greed, acquisitiveness, I guess the desire to acquire, meanness, egotism, and self-interest are the traits of success. And while men admire the qualities of the first, they love the produce of the second. So it's in one of his books.
It's actually really deep, man, before we go, because I was actually just having that conversation. Basically, the people that's, they fucking over folks doing dirty shit, you know what I'm saying? They're getting it, they're loving life, while the people that's doing the right thing for the most part, they tend to struggle a lot. That's a real good quote, man.
I thought it was a dope quote.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Especially in today's day and age, when people talk about like the top 1% getting richer and richer. That's the quote. Look it up. I butchered some of the words. Like I said, whole bunch of words I don't use.
I do it all the time. Fans, it's good to see him doing it, huh?
Yeah, right. It happens. So with that, like I always say, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Come back for episode 49 from 50. Sorry.
50
is coming. So with that, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we out.
Yeah.
Perfect.